Good afternoon, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I was telling you guys in yesterday's vlog, we had the weird Thursday night football game, and today we didn't have any football, although my dad and Jack actually have like they're doing a barbecue kind of thing, but today the big event was that we ended up having our windows done and taken care of and everything like that I think I was telling you guys, and that was kind of the change to the plans, I guess, for today, or different, I guess, sort of, was that we were getting new windows put in, and we were doing the kitchen windows, the bathroom windows, Jack's bedroom, and Jack's bedroom has one window and the sliding glass door in the back. So because I've been standing here in awe of this window all day today, I have to share it with you guys, because I've seen in pictures and videos and like that kind of stuff, garden windows. I don't think I have ever seen in person a real garden window. I've seen windows that are kind of like out a little bit and have like deep, like, you know, windowsills and stuff like that. Guys, this thing is like a complete dream. It is crazy. Like, oh my goodness. I was telling my mom too, I was like, when we do spring seeds in the spring, because, you know, we have our outside garden and everything like that, and normally when we do seeds, we have limited counter space in our kitchen, but when we're doing like seeds and, like, you know, the little you know, like the little, what's it called, I don't know, the little, you know, cells, we, you know, like, don't have enough space. They're normally shuffled around, because the kitchen window actually gets some of the best light in the house, and when, you know, in the spring, we're normally shuffling them around on the counters and stuff like that, moving them when somebody needs something, we have to move them back and all this kind of stuff. Guys, we could do like a whole crazy amount of garden plants on this window, because there's so much space. And then too, my mom's like, oh my goodness, like for decorating for like holidays, we can put like a little tree in here, and let me show you guys it. All right, guys, so here is our counter, and there's a few flies in here right now because they've had the back door open all day, and they had, you know, again, the huge like the whole cutouts of the windows open and stuff like that, so we got some flies in here, and they're in there right now. But this is the window, guys. Oh my goodness. So I can sit in here. I already did. My mom took my picture in here, but this is how deep these windows are actually. Like, here's my hand, and that is how it's probably a good 2+ feet. And so the reason though, like when you go from the outside, it does not look like it's sticking out of the house very much at all. The thing is that this right here is the actual like space between the brick and, like, you know, the drywall and the sort of interior wall and or the exterior wall. This is all the spacing that it takes up, so that's why this is so deep. They also did new trim on this whole thing around here as well, and they put in, I think these were new pieces also, like everything matched, and so they had, like I said, all this stuff in here. And then these windows, which they crank out from here and they lock, these are the locks and these are the cranks. We have them open right now. Oh my goodness, guys, this is crazy. Like, you can see up to the top part of this and everything like that. It's just like absolutely crazy. They're, like I said, it's huge. When I saw it, I was like not expecting it to be this big at all, but oh my goodness, it's like I said, it's crazy. It's awesome. Like, you can see the street when you stand here and look out. Like, the only way I could see the street was like if I was standing practically like leaning on the countertop. Like, you can just see the street from here, the front of the house. You know, like it's crazy. So this was the big one. Like I said, the garden window, and probably the most dramatic difference, that again too, it makes the kitchen feel bigger. It makes the outside literally feel like it's part of the inside. Like, it doesn't feel like it's like I'm just like, oh, this is just outside. Like, it doesn't feel like it's part of the house, sort of, but it does. And like Jack was saying too, we can even just, because again, this is the only counter space we have other than the coffee bar over on the other side, where it's a little slat about this big next to the pantry on the opposite side of me. Other than that, that's our counter space in our kitchen. To be able to put like our fruit basket up there, or to be able to put like our utensil, you know, thing up there and stuff like that, it's just like, oh my goodness, we'll have so much more counter space too. And then my mom was saying again, like I mentioned to you guys, like putting a little Christmas tree for Christmas in here. Like, she has one that she used to put on the counter, and again too, we have like no counter space, so it was like impossible. And our windowsills used to only be about like maybe that thick or so, so we would have little tiny plants, but my mom loves plants. We can like fill this thing with all kinds of plants and everything. It's just, oh my goodness, it's amazing. So like I said, that's just that, like, it's such a huge change to the house. Like, again, everything we're doing upstairs, but we've been trying to kind of like get these windows done since probably the beginning of the year pretty much, and we finally like have everything kind of squared away, and we're able to finally get them done now. But like I even heard too, that's why it's awesome that we have a contractor that's available to do the upstairs, because we're using somebody different than we did for these windows than what we're doing for upstairs. But the I heard that like because my dad was like talking to some people too about drywalling originally like a while back, and they were like they have drywallers that are booked out for like months, so that we actually have somebody that can come and do that, which is the next step for upstairs, is awesome, because like I said, there's people that like aren't, especially our area, are not like available right now to do drywalling, which is like I said kind of crazy. So it's awesome that we found somebody that's able to do that. But those are the same people that ended up doing the upstairs windows and replaced those with just like, these are all the custom ones. The ones that we did upstairs were just like store-bought ones, and they just reframed it so that it fit in the door or the window frame kind of, but these ones were actually custom for the spacing that's here already. But like I said, guys, it's just look at that, like, again, too, the crazy difference. But then too, we put that in maybe 2-3 years ago, something like that. But like my dad was saying too, it makes it feel like now it's like built for that space, like the window, the light in the window kind of thing is like amazing. So let me share with you guys real quick the back door. So this is the bathroom. This is just it, basically the same thing. They even kept the trim on that. Like the trim in the kitchen had to be redone because of kind of reframing it, because it was 2 separate windows. Now it's one gigantic window. But the difference here is that with this one, like I said, there's really no difference. It's just like a vinyl window, and then they just ended up, it's a what's it called, a frosted glass for the bathroom, which is awesome. So it's nice too, because like the one we had on here was wood. It was old, again too, didn't like you had to prop it open. Like all the windows in the house on the first floor were all original to the house, except for the living room ones we had replaced a handful of years after we moved in. These ones, the rest of the house were not. So again, those kitchen ones, one of them you had to prop open, the other one was good, it would stay up on its own. I think this bathroom one was one of the ones you had to prop open, but now it stays open on its own, and it's got like the locking. They're also the ones that you can like pop out also, so that you can clean it from the outside, or the the inside, which is the same, the ones that we have in the living room, and the upstairs ones as well, which is awesome. All right, guys, so like I was saying, the windows, this is the one we replaced in Jack's room. Again too, they pop out so that they're easier to clean, because again too, our house is, even though like we're on the first floor, it's still raised sort of. We don't have a basement, but it still is a little higher up off the ground. So like we have to get a ladder out, and like on this side of the house is the garden, so you also have to like get a ladder, lean against the house, because you can't really get up right to the house to be able to like clean them from the outside. So having that feature is absolutely amazing. We use it a ton with the front windows, and having that here, because like otherwise we only clean the windows from the outside like maybe once in the spring, and that's pretty much it. So there's always spider webs and all kinds of stuff, but now that we have these, they're a lot easier to clean, and we hopefully won't have that problem really either, because again too, the way, like I was saying, the old ones were lots of like spiders and all kinds of stuff would like end up kind of nesting in like the window, like the window frame sort of around, because they actually, instead of like these have just 2 kind of like I don't want to say frames, but like the old ones, actually these ones, no, I actually think all of them did, they had an additional like pane between like these, so these are only like 2 panes of like 2 separate like window pieces, if that makes sense. The old ones actually had like 4, because they had one between both of the pieces. And then this is the back door, guys, which I'm probably not going to go outside right now to show you. The maybe I will, but this is a sliding glass door. So we had a really dumb the old window was, or the old door, which also too, the dogs don't realize that this was, we had the door open for them to go outside. They couldn't figure out how to get through the door, like, because this is actually a little bit higher than the other one. They all couldn't figure it out, and then they were just standing there. Dad was showing them like, oh, you can just walk through, and like showing them it was open. They still could not figure it out. So anyways, now it's a slider, because it used to be a pull from like this way. It was like a half, like a door, but then this was just basically solid pane of, you know, window like it is, but instead of sliding, it would pull out. So you had to make sure that like the spacing here was, you know, like free and all that kind of stuff, which wasn't that big of a deal. But like in this case, because of the way, again, for right now, because my mom's desk is here, we have to wait till we move it upstairs once the stuff's done up there. But Jack's bed, we couldn't do this before. He's gonna put his bed, right now it's just a mattress because we have to rebuild the bed because we took it out for today while they were here building this stuff. But for right now it's on the floor. But he couldn't have his bed like on this side, and there's certain furniture situations that you couldn't have because you had to make sure that the door could open this way instead of sliding. So now that it slides, you don't have to worry about still being able to, like, you can get all the way up to here to be able to walk out, instead of like you couldn't open this and you'd have to walk like this way. And anyways, like I said, it's a lot nicer now, and they redid all the trim in here as well, which is awesome because this was not trim, didn't have trim on it. This actually still does not have trim on it when we redid this room. But since Jack's getting this room redone for his bedroom, we're waiting to do that until like we figure out what he's doing and what he wants for in here and everything like that. And the colors, we just still have to, like I said, finish that. I think that's actually the only spot that's not trimmed right now. So again too, this was all the slider. I'll show you guys that from the outside. So yeah guys, I already told everyone, I said one day I'll just walk by it and it'll be a normal window, but for right now, every single time we walk past it, I just have to stop and like ooh and ah at it for right now, because it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of takes your breath away when you see it, which is, like I said, so cool because we've never had anything like that before. We've never, you know, and again too, I've never even known anybody that's ever had anything like that. Like even too, I think of my aunt and uncle's old house, they did have like a little sort of like a bay window, but like it was like in their living room, and like it had like a ledge, but it was not that deep. Like I think it was like a shorter ledge, like again too, maybe about like 6 inches or something like that, most a foot. But like I said, this thing's got to be over 2 feet at least deep, and just to like be able to set things on there, and like I said, you know, let things cool on it, you know, and put, you know, again, like you make cookies and you can set them on there, let them cool, that kind of stuff. Like that's just like, that's what Jack was joking around about. He's like, you can just make a pie and then you know, have the windows open and the smells just wafting through the neighborhood. So like I said, that's really cool. But again, we, you know, ended up getting all that stuff done today. So we've been locked in our rooms all day just because it was pretty much an all-day project. But the awesome thing was they got everything all done in one day. They had a 3-man crew out here today to do that, and like I said, got it all done in pretty much one day. So I think everything done, yeah, everything done in one day. So like all the exterior kind of stuff too, like caulking and all that done. So like I said, that's awesome. I'm overlaying this audio here because I don't want to record outside, but I wanted to share with you guys. I just didn't record it, like the audio part with it. So anyways though, this was the door frame and all of the stuff that's on the inside Jack's room right now / my mom's office at this current moment. But it's got, like, that's the whole door frame. Although on one side we actually didn't have, the framing wasn't done for one side of it. They did like new on the bottom, like the new kind of step is new as well, and then all of the like siding kind of stuff and the framing for the you know, like the trim sort of, actually one whole piece of that fell off, and we had it in the garage. My dad never ended up replacing it or putting it back on, because I think he couldn't put it back on. But now it's all one piece kind of, well, not one piece, but all redone, brand new, and all the same, you know, the vinyl siding stuff that's for that door. So and it's on the brick side of the house. So anyways, I thought I'd share that with you guys as well. Well guys, I'm getting ready for bed, and I just have to say one thing looking at this this window, which is so weird, because like doing the dishes, I'm like, holy cow, I'm like a whole 5 steps away from the end of the house. Like that's how far it feels like to the actual window. Whereas like again too, you used to do dishes and the window was like literally right there. And now you're doing dishes and it's like all steps away before you're actually at the window. But like my dad was saying too, guys, this light that we put in way ahead of time before we even knew we were getting this window done, just feels so perfect. Like you guys see in like a darkly lit kind of kitchen like this, how like the light just, it hits this spot just perfectly. And we always use this as just as a night light, but again too, the edge of the window was there, so it was just, it kind of only illuminated like this much space. But now that that house goes a little further and the window sticks out like that, it illuminates like that whole space. And again too, it feels so big because this was a double window. So again too, like a lot of kitchens tend to have like one you know, like one window kind of just in front of the sink there, like, you know, that. But because ours was a double window, we were able to make this just such a big space, which like I said is so amazing. It adds so much extra space for us. And again too, it's a little bit different as well, because like I've seen some places, or you know, some houses, like when I was looking at like what kind of garden windows, you know, that kind of stuff. Like I was looking at this and some of them go actually like off the countertop and just kind of like keep going. Like it's almost an expansion of the countertop. But because of where our window is again too, it's, you know, countertop, and then, you know, we got the backsplash, and then, you know, up here is where it finally starts. It's like this extra kind of like little decorative area of, you know, like I said, it's just so cool. It's so amazing. It adds so much space. My mom is such a plant person, you know, she loves her indoor plants, so this thing is going to be filled with, you guys can see she already put candles and the flowers, and Jack's very proud of putting the fruit basket up there. It's his favorite thing. But like that alone already is gonna free up so much space. And again too, if we're just like, stuff's in the way, we can always kind of just like throw it up there, you know. Again, if we're like, we need some counter space to do some cooking or baking or something like that. Like again, before our countertops used to be so filled, it was crazy. And now it's just so nice because like I said, we can kind of just, again, like fruit basket we used to have down here, if we don't have room for it, we can throw it up there, and it's not, you know, a huge big thing. So we do need to do a little bit of touch up, like because the trim used to actually go out a little bit further, we have to touch that up and that up. And my mom actually wants to redo this backsplash anyway, so in that case, when we pull the backsplash out, all that like drywall, we're probably gonna have to do some patchwork on it anyway, because I know that I covered over a couple of spots that we had to do patchwork on. It was kind of like how that looks, and I kind of fixed it, but then I know that there were some spots that were not quite as bad that I didn't touch underneath that, so I know that that's gonna have to be done. And then this, actually we're gonna have another outlet further down over here, and we didn't, like, we actually ran this one, there's one outlet back here that just is for the oven, and then we have, oh no, that's actually covered over, so that's the plug for the oven, that's just an extra one. It would almost be smart to have that one, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's just weird because it's like right behind the stove instead of like being like a little higher up from the stove. So that's what my dad did when we redid this wiring before. But the thing is that there's actually, because we didn't redo the electric when, you know, we didn't tear any drywall out or anything like that, but we would have had to have drilled through a stud because the stud is right in between those two. So that was the problem. So we ran the wire mold there instead. But we're, like I said, that was the plan I think we were going to do over here as well. I think we have the stuff for it. We just didn't end up doing it because we actually wanted to put a, what's it called? thing underneath the sink, garbage disposal, and we wanted to run it and actually have it with a switch so you can turn it on and off, and we wanted to do the switch over here, and so that's why I think we didn't mess with that yet, because we don't have that put in yet. But like I said, guys, this is just, it's so amazing. It just makes the whole kitchen feel so different, and it's like weird because it doesn't really, because like when you kind of step back and just look at it, you're like, oh, it's just a frame, and you kind of like are like, oh, it's just like a picture or something that's like hanging there, and then it's like, no, that's actually the outside. Like again too, it's nighttime right now because I wanted to show you guys it with the light on, but like I said, it is so cool. I'm just, like I said, my dad, I caught him just standing here staring at it at the end of the day today. I was like, Dad, you just admiring that window there? And I was doing the same thing too. And like Jack and my mom too have stopped and done it, you know. So like I said, it's a really cool thing that's like, this is just, I think, the most unique part of the whole thing. It's like all the other windows, I'm like, like, you know, other regular windows, and again too, the sliding glass door, like that's cool. And again too, if that was the only thing we got done, like just the sliding glass door, I'd be like, you know, that's the coolest thing right now. But this is just, like I said, something that I don't normally see in a ton of houses, or don't see a lot. So I just think that it's very neat. It's also perfect too because it's cool out right now, so we actually have the windows open. So like I have my bedroom window open anyway, but we've got these little windows open here, the hand crank, they're open. So we've got some stuff on the table that needs to be put back, like KitchenAid needs to go back on the counter and all that. But I thought I'd just share with you guys the like I said, that for today and all that stuff getting done. But my dad should have a Tony's and Caputo's haul for you guys tomorrow, and I should have Jewel for you guys on Sunday. But I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.